Travelers, this is Gabby and today I'm talking to you about all of the new releases in May 2022 and I'm so excited. There's so many. Several of these books were on my most anticipated of 2022 and I was like, what do? I decided that every Monday in May, I'm gonna have a dedicated review for a new release. Usually I do one at least and then maybe two every month. But this month we're gonna have a whole plethora and it's gonna be very exciting. Let me know in the comments what do you think will be the books I'm reading in May and reviewing in May. If you don't want to miss out on that kind of content, because I love doing dedicated reviews, as you probably know, I read all of the new releases and I don't know, that's just what I enjoy. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, subscribe. But without further ado, we have 10 books I want to talk to you about. There were more, but I had to limit myself. I can't sit in here like Books and Lala and talk about 50 books because we'll be here all day and I'm not Books and Lala. No one wants to watch me for that long. So book one, it's a big one. It's Book of Night by Holly Black. So this was coming out on 3rd of May and it's an adult urban fantasy. And if you don't know, Holly Black is the author of Cruel Prince, which is a YA series, but this is her adult fantasy debut. And I'm excited. I read Cruel Prince, I read the whole series. First book was really badly written. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's bad. It felt like reading a grossly written and not an exciting one at that. It just felt so dry and so minuscule, but her ability to tell like a political story I thought was done pretty well. People gush about the romance, but the romance is such a small subplot in these books, and I could already see an immense improvement between book 1 and book 2. So I'm excited about this new adult book because, you know, it's just like exquisite writing in the reviews, in the like blurb thingy, and like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. But this is the synopsis. In Charlie Hall's world, shadows can be altered for entertainment and cosmetic preferences, but also to increase power and influence. You can alter someone's feelings and memories, but manipulating shadows has a cost, with the potential to take hours or days from your life. Your shadow holds all the parts of you that you want to keep hidden. A second self standing just to your left, walking behind you into lit rooms. And sometimes it has a life of its own. Charlie is a low-level con artist, working as a bartender while trying to distance herself from the powerful and dangerous underground world of shadow trading. She gets by doing odd jobs for her patrons and the naive new money in her town, at the age of Berkshires. But when a terrible figure from her past returns, Charlie's present life is thrown into chaos, and her future seems at best unclear and at worst non-existent. Determined to survive, Charlie throws herself into a maelstrom of secrets and murder, setting her against a cast of doppelgangers, mercurial billionaires, shadow thieves, and her own sister, all desperate to control the magic of the shadows. It sounds cool. It sounds interesting. I wonder what's going to be adult about it. Maybe like a romance or like more sexual content, because I guess that's something that people really loved about Cruel Prince was the romance. So maybe that's the adult things, or maybe other themes as well. I don't know. I feel like Cruel Prince, the writing was definitely YA, but I don't know if the themes were YA, if that makes sense. Book number 2 is The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. So this one's coming out on 3rd of May as well, and it's a gothic historical horror. I think it's adult, but I didn't write it down, so I'm not sure. This talks to a part of my soul that I need to explore more. I've been loving gothic novels, I've been loving horror, and I've been loving historical. Enough said. The pitch for it is Mexican Gothic meets Rebecca. Supernatural suspense novel set in the aftermath of Mexican War of Independence, about a remote house, a sinister haunting, and a woman pulled into their clutches. In the overthrow of the Mexican government, Beatrice's father is executed and her home destroyed. When handsome Don Rodolfo Solorzano proposes, Beatrice ignores the rumors surrounding his first wife's sudden demise, choosing instead to seize the security his estate in the countryside provides. She will have her own home again, no matter the cost. But Hacienda San Isidro is not the sanctuary she imagined. When Rodolfo returns to work in the capital, visions and voices invade Beatrice's sleep. The weight of invisible eyes follow her every move. Rodolfo's sister, Juana, scoffs at Beatrice's fears. But why does she refuse to enter the house at night? Why does the cook burn copal incense at the edge of the kitchen and mark its doorway with strange symbols? What really happened to the first Donna Solorzano? Beatrice only knows two things for certain. Something is wrong with the Hacienda, and no one there will help her. Desperate for help, she clings to the young priest, Padre Andres, as an ally. No ordinary priest, Andres will have to rely on his skills as a witch to fight off the malevolent presence haunting the Hacienda and protect the woman from whom he feels a powerful, forbidden attraction. But even he might not be enough to battle the darkness. It sounds very sinister, and I like it. I hope they go hard with the horror. I mean, like, horror is not horror, sometimes, you know what I mean? Next book is Zachary, Ying, and the Dragon Emperor by Xiran Zhao. So this was coming out on 3rd of May as well. And it's a middle grade urban fantasy with LGBTQ plus characters. And this one is by the author of Iron Widow, which was a YA, like a sci-fi novel. Zachary Ying never had many opportunities to learn about his Chinese heritage. His single mom was busy enough making sure they got by, and his school never taught anything except Western history and myth. So Zach is woefully unprepared when he discovers he was born to host the spirit of the first emperor of China for a vital mission, sealing the leaking portal to the Chinese underworld before the upcoming Ghost Month blows it wide open. The mission takes an immediate wrong turn when the first emperor botches his attempt to possess Zach's body and binds to Zach's AR gaming headset instead, leading to a battle where Zach's mom's soul gets taken by demons. Now, with one of history's most infamous tyrants yapping in his headset, Zach must journey across China to heist magical artifacts and defeat figures from history and myth, all while learning to wield the Emperor's incredible water dragon powers. Sounds cool. I need some more middle grade in my life. Okay, so next up we have Not Good for Maidens by Tori Bovalino. So this was coming out on 3rd of May, and it's a YA fantasy horror with LGBTQ plus characters. So this is how it's pitched. Salem's Lot meets the darkest part of the forest in this horror fantasy retelling of Christina Rossetti's Goblin Market. So I don't actually know what Goblin Market is, like I'm just gonna tell you right now. And I really like the cover. So that's like part of the reason. But then we also established I like horror. And I'm pretty sure this has lesbians. So overall, there were many things that appealed to me. I just don't know what Goblin Market is. Lou never believed in superstitions or magic until her teenage aunt Nila is kidnapped to the Goblin Market. The market is a place Lou has only read about. Twisted streets, offerings of sweet fruits, and incredible jewels. Everything from the food and wares to the goblins themselves is a haunting temptation for any human who manages to find their way in. Determined to save Nila, Lou learns songs and spells and tricks that will help her navigate this dangerous world and slip past a goblin's defenses. But she only has 3 days to find Nila before the market disappears, and her aunt becomes one of them forever. If she isn't careful, the market might just end up claiming her too. Okay, next one. It's Under One Roof by Hazelwood. So this one's coming out on 3rd of May as well. It's adult romance, like contemporary romance. And this author is the author of Love Hypothesis, which was like took TikTok by storm, and I really enjoyed it too. I thought it was cute, well written, smart was good, like it all worked. So I'm very excited for this new series from her. So it's one of those series where each book is a different couple. So this is the first one, and the 2 other are coming out really closely together as well. So I'm excited to see what they bring. But this is the first book, Under One Roof. Mara, Sadie, and Hannah are friends first, scientists always. Though their fields of study might take them to different corners of the world, they can all agree on this universal truth. When it comes to love and science, opposites attract and rivals make you burn. As an environmental engineer, Mara knows all about the delicate nurture of ecosystems. They require balance and leaving the thermostat alone, and not stealing someone else's food. And other rules Liam, her detestable big oil lawyer of a roommate, knows nothing about. Okay, sure, technically she's the interloper. Liam was already entrenched in his aunt's house like some glowering grumpy giant when Mara moved in, with his big muscles and kissable mouth just sitting there on the couch tempting respectable scientists to the dark side. But Helena was her mentor and Mara's not about to move out and give up her inheritance without a fight. The problem is, living with someone means getting to know them, and the more Mara finds out about Liam, the harder it is to love him, and the easier it is to love him. I bet it is. Okay, next book. The next book is Siren Queen. Why did I say that weird? Siren Queen by Nevo, and this was coming out on the 10th of May, and it's a historical fantasy with LGBTQ plus characters, but it does not matter when it comes out, because Ya Girl was approved for the ARC. What? When I got the email, I literally gasped and like wanted to scream, but my boyfriend was in the call, so I couldn't. Little old me. I'm famous now, so you know. Anyway, let's move on. So I'll tell you what the book is actually about. No mates, no funny talking, no fading flowers. Luli Wei is beautiful, talented, and desperate to be a star. Coming of age in pre-code Hollywood, she knows how dangerous the movie business is and how limited the roles are for Chinese-American girl from Hungarian Hill. But she doesn't care. She'd rather play a monster than a maid. But in Luli's world, the worst monsters in Hollywood are not the ones on the screen. The studios want to own everything from her face to her name to the woman she loves, and they run on a system of bargains, made in blood and ancient magic, powered by the endless sacrifice of unlucky starlets like her. For those who do survive to earn their fame, success comes with a steep price. Luli is willing to do whatever it takes, even if that means becoming the monster herself. Well, I don't know what that means, but I will sooner than you. This is especially for you, Hanan, who said that you will rob me in the middle of the night. My eyes on you. And Siren Queen was on my most anticipated of 2022 list. And another book that was my most anticipated. Another book that was on my most anticipated of 2022 is coming out in May, and that is You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwaeke Emezi. So this book's coming out on 24th of May, and it's an adult contemporary with LGBTQ plus characters. Cover looks beautiful. I read quite a lot. Well, I read Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi. I also read Pets, and I thought both were written beautifully and amazingly, and I don't know what this one's about. Well, we'll find out together, but like I don't care. Like I know it will be amazing. Faye Adekola wants to learn how to be alive again. It's been 5 years since the accident that killed the love of her life, and she's almost a new person now. An artist with her own studio and sharing a brownstone apartment with her ride-or-die best friend, Joy, who insists it's time for Faye to ease back into the dating scene. Faye isn't ready for anything serious, but a steamy encounter at a rooftop party cascades into a whirlwind summer she could have never imagined. A luxury trip to a tropical island, decadent meals in the glamorous home of a celebrity chef, and a major curator who wants to launch her art career. She's even started dating the perfect guy, but their new relationship might be sabotaged before it has a chance by the dangerous thrill Faye feels every time she locks eyes with the one person in the house who is most definitely off limits. This new life she asked for just got a lot more complicated, and Faye must begin her search for real answers. Who is she ready to become? Can she release her past and honor her grief while still embracing the future? And of course, there's the biggest question of all. How far is she willing to go for a second chance at love? And the last book that's not a sequel, it's Summer's Edge by Dana Mele. So this one's coming out on 31st of May, and it's a YA mystery thriller / horror with LGBTQ plus characters. So it says that it's I Know What You Did Last Summer meets The Haunting of the Hill House. Emily Joyner was once part of an inseparable group. She was a sister, a best friend, a lover, and a rival. Summers without Emily were unthinkable, until the fire burned the lake house to ashes with her inside. A year later, it's in Emily's honor that Chelsea and her 4 friends decide to return. The house awaits them. Meticulously rebuilt, only Chelsea is haunted by ghostly visions. Loner Ryan stirs up old hurts and forces Golden Boy Chase to play peacemaker, which has perfect hostess Kennedy on edge as eerie events culminate in stunning accusation. Emily's death wasn't an accident, and all the clues needed to find the person responsible are right here. As all betrayers rise to the surface, Chelsea and her friends have one night to unravel a mystery spanning 3 summers before a killer among them extracts their revenge. Okay, so we just have 2 books left. Both are sequels. So first book is A Cruel and Fated Light by Ashley Shuttleworth. So this one's coming out on May 24th, and it's a YA urban fantasy with LGBTQ plus characters. So this is a sequel to A Dark and Hollow Star, which I really enjoyed. So in the first book, we follow a world where, you know, there's like an underground of like magical creatures and fae, but normal people think it's like there's nothing magical happening, and it's set in Toronto, and we follow 2 women who get together to solve a string of murders, to solve a mystery of a string of murders of half-fae people. I really enjoyed that one. The main characters, it was a sapphic romance, had really good chemistry, the mystery was compelling. It just felt very urban fantasy, which was fun because I really missed that type of fantasy because I wasn't reading it too much at the time. And the last book is The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna. So this one's coming out on 31st of May, and it's a YA fantasy, and it is the sequel to a book that I own, but it's in the other room and I forgot the title. So in the first book, we follow a world where there is the ceremony after you turn, I think, 18 or something, where they cut you, and if you bleed red, you're all good, you're awesome, normal human, go on. If you bleed gold, they take you to the capital, and the main character bleeds gold, and she's given this choice between joining the military or basically being killed. So it's really cool. It has a lot of really good female friendships, and it has very powerful strong male protagonist, which I really enjoyed. So overall, that one was really good, and I am looking forward to the sequel, and the cover is pretty, so we're sorted. Well, those were all the books that I'm excited about coming out in May. Let me know what you think. Which 5 do you think I'm going to review? It's a trick question, but I'm not going to tell you why. Let me know which ones you would like me to review, because I might always change my mind. They're not set in stone. So let me know if you enjoyed the video. If you could comment, like, and subscribe, I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!